imperfections in it. But what it probably won't have, because it'll also be skill building, is bubbles, right? So then that's really the risk of the thicker coats, or putting it on too quickly. If you put it on quickly, then you can get little micro bubbles, and then those tend to, as it dries, burst, and you get this kind of, where was it? This is just a defect in one of the floorboards, right? This is just like part of the manufacturing process, just wrong, right? Because this is a piece of plastic; it's printed on there, right? But you'll get a little something like that where it just kind of goes pop, and then you can that you can usually feel a little bit better. But one of the nice things about it is that as you do the coats, it's your skills are going to get better, and it's unlikely that you're going to have that last coat be a big failure, right?
Typically, like the way I do it, I use brush, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's what I
the
use as well.
brush stroke.
Yeah.
Or the between each stroke we have like a little bit of bumpy.
Yeah.
Which concern me on the top coat.
Yeah. What I say is
the last coat.
What I say is you can. So it's this wet edge concept as you're painting, right? You always want to tie your next stroke in over your last stroke, and then, so, I would probably use a 2 or 3 inch brush, right? And I would put it on, all in one line, but then I would start back here and I would drag that whole line together. And then I would start here and I'd drag to here, and then I'd probably drag this line again, and then I drag to here. And so it's like I'm kind of maintaining a little bit of wetness in my past coats.
Got it.
But the reason I can't say specifically what I recommend is that the products are different. And so some products, I wouldn't hesitate in this situation. What you're describing to me with the kind of bumpiness is that it's drying before you get more on.
Oh, okay.
And so if you get one that says quick dry, I'd watch out for that one, because it may not be the right fit for you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You may want to say, you know what, I'm just going to do, I'm not going to try and do 3 coats in one day or 2 coats in one day. I'm going to just do a coat, and if it takes it, instead of it taking an hour to dry, if it takes it 12 or 24 hours to dry, I don't really care.
Okay.
Right?
Pretty much, your thought is maintain the wetness, right?
Yeah.
Such that it kind of blend in and they
Unifies.
go even. Yeah, okay.
You want to try and, ideally, you want to try and unify this part with this part. Now, that's not easy,
Okay.
but it's also, this process is a little bit more forgiving. And I think part of what you could do is, like, if you don't get the quick dry stuff, you give yourself more forgiveness, right? You give yourself a little bit more time to work with an individual piece, and then you're good. Which is actually my next point, which is the way that I do this. So you're dealing with the bottom edge and the top. The way that I like to do it then is I have some blocks, and I don't mind cutting the blocks and just having them here. So I just have like a piece of 2x4 and a piece of 2x4, right? Well, sorry, that's not right. I'll just show you. But I'll show you, and then I'll make better blocks.